Ladies and gentlemen, and other forms of outdated crowd introductions, welcome back to Articulate with Steve McJones. How we doing, huh? You ready for this episode? Hot takes with Ben Staab. He's just spitting some crazy ideas about what he thinks with the metaverse, and it's funny because he's so passionately against it, but is also addicted to technology, which is, I think, how most of us feel. But yeah, we get into really different concepts within the metaverse that I don't really know too much about it. And he's kind of, again, he has such a passion against it that he's looked into it quite a bit. And there were even some things that he didn't bring up on this podcast that he wanted me to mention. Like, the sense of home, we literally call it a home screen, which harnesses a sense of home within a phone, which makes you feel more comfortable within it, which is already kind of scary. But also within just the metaverse, Snoop Dogg has a place in the metaverse. They have church, they just have church in the metaverse, and there's also just been like an assault already, or harassment within the metaverse. So there's a lot more in this world that's developing that I don't even know a lot about, and it's just it's a crazy concept. Now, the thing with this episode is Ben and I get caught up with the morality of the metaverse and how we see it progressing within our society, and our life's purpose with the metaverse. So we get pretty deep with it, but a lot of it, again, are concepts that I had not considered before. So I really enjoyed his take on these things, and I think we're going to have him back because we divulge a little bit into religion and spirituality towards the end, and he's got a lot of hot takes with that as well. And we've talked about maybe even having like a part 2 where we just talk about solely that. And there's another comic that he said he agrees with a lot of things regarding religion on, and I would love to have both of them on and just try to translate Ben's concepts, because they're, I'm a pretty deep thinker, but it's just, again, he presents these ideas that I've just never considered before. So a lot of my initial reaction is to go against them. So I think, in a sense, a lot of these ideas I'm immediately antagonistic towards, which makes for an interesting podcast episode. And again, it challenges my ideas. So I enjoyed this episode, and I enjoy conversations with Ben for that reason, and I think you will enjoy it as well. So have fun.
It's the lowest budget podcast. A TV tray, one microphone.
Listen, we're out here grinding, dude. Chill out. Don't put your coffee on here because it'll make this sound.
There you go, because it's the lowest budget podcast.
Listen, I don't have it. You want to pay for a studio? Because I'll be down if you're paying for it. Like we'll record it there.
That's good, dude. I think I have this exact TV tray, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Staab, do you have it at your house in
Virginia?
Yeah. Virginia Beach?
Yeah, these things are awesome. You can put your foot on this thing and then lift it up with your knees.
Yeah, it's the shit.
Yeah, if you're a little autistic kid.
Nice. Yeah, but don't make fun of the quality. Listen, all they know is that sound is coming out of their earphones. They don't have to know. Don't let them know what the surrounding is like. Yeah. We actually have a
producer in the corner.
Producer, yeah. There's 2
Neil
cameras. I don't release the video, but there's 2 cameras just for me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so tell us what we're here to talk about here today.
Are we talking about the metaverse?
We're talking about the metaverse, and first of all, I want to know how, I know you're very passionate about, technology in general. So did you have a hate against, AI and technology before the metaverse was announced? Or... Yeah,
I feel like I've been hating it forever. I am also addicted to it, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which I think is why I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's ruining our life.
It ruins your life. Don't you think?
A little bit.
Do you think your life's gotten worse? When did you get a phone?
Dude, I was fiending for it. So I got in 5th grade, I got a Nokia phone, basically. Which wasn't, but everybody was getting iPod touches at that point. And so I was fiending for one, and by the time I got to 8th grade was the first time I got an iPod touch. And
okay. That's 8th grade? Yeah, a smartphone in 8th grade. I think I got it in 9th grade. A smartphone.
Yeah.
Hey, life gets worse. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, but that's also, can you attribute that to the phone, or can you attribute that to puberty and I don't know. Yeah, maybe it was the phone. I never correlated it that way.
Because then that just becomes all you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, yeah, you're right, dude. Because literally what happened was I got so obsessed with the iPod Touch and didn't have enough friends. So I just got obsessed with like jailbreaking it and like did all these like tweaks and like little things, and you get like games on it.
It makes you weird.
It does make.
Yeah, older people are more fun to hang out with because they're not as in the phone world as much.
Yeah, they just get sucked into it. Well, I mean, there's also a thing to be said for when you get older, you get more comfortable with yourself, so you are more comfortable around other people.
Yeah.
But we don't know about like the generation that grew up with phones, how they're going to become when they're older.
Yeah.
Because we're that generation, you know, and we're 23, so.
I don't know. It's not the age thing, I don't think. You're saying it's just being younger, because it's not, man.
You don't think so? Yeah, I mean, the phones definitely have an influence. I'm not, like, arguing against that, but I think age also plays a large factor in it as well. All right, well, let's hear more about, build your argument more for me.
Build my argument.
Yeah.
Which is just phones bad.
Phones bad, bro.
It is such a lame argument. It's not phones, it's just technology, you know? Because I think life's better when you're not enjoying it.
Why do you say that?
You know what I mean?
You think life is better when you're not? These are hot takes coming from Ben Staab. I think you come up with, I don't know, ways to improve life whenever, or you appreciate life more when it's bad. I would say you appreciate the good more when you have a lot of bad, but I get where you're coming from. Like, there's a lot of people who have come up from hardships and, like, shitty lives and done really great
before
things.
I had a phone, I lived on a farm in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, we would just jump on hay bales.
That sounds like a great time.
Every day. That's, like, all I would do for fun.
You know, it was fun, though. Didn't you enjoy it? Yeah, that's, like, my
favorite memory. Yeah. And I don't have any favorite memories of, like, scrolling through a feed. You know what I'm saying?
I do, dude. I remember, like, when Vine was big, like, that was, like, for me, that was a fun time, like, to go through, like, my Vine feed, because there was also a limited. There was only, like, you could go through it. It was in order, so you could only go through it for, like, probably, like, 20 minutes max, and you would hit, like, where you hit before, like, the day before, you know, last time you got on. And, like, people had to be real creative with 6 seconds and, like, no editing.
Dad, good night.
So I thought it was a really good, and this is the thing about technology is, like, and obviously, you know, you can say this about most things, but, like, obviously it was started with a good intention. Like, the internet, you know, they wanted to connect people and, you know, bring people together and have a database for people to access knowledge and shit like that. Yeah. And then also it became like YouTube when it first started. It was a place for people to, like, put their just creative ideas and make fun sketches and, like, show their friends, you know? And then it just became capitalistic.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I don't know. You don't get as much enjoyment from texting friends as you do meeting up with them after a while. You know? Yeah,
well, after a while, that's what I'm saying. Like, so that's, like, a different point in the relationship then. Because, I mean, we talked about this just now. There's some people where you meet and it's awkward. It's as awkward as texting people, you know? But
in real life. Yeah. The fuck is that? Silences, waiting for a reply in real life. That's insane.
Just say something, dude. Just reply to me now.
Yeah, just say something.
They left you on red.
And then you just start talking about your life, and you feel dumb because they don't look interested.
Yeah. That is sad.
But it's just like, some people can't talk at all. You know?
I mean, it's a skill.
And I'm not good at talking. But there's some people worse than me. You know? And that's terrible. Yeah. To be worse than me at talking to people.
All right, let's rope this back to technology a little bit, though. So, fucking bad, dude. So basically, at what point did you realize that it, like, started affecting you? It was, like, immediate results, so you realized, oh, I can just spend all this time on my phone.
Yeah, I think I've hated it. See, that? I mean, I feel like a hypocrite because I say I hate it, but I don't take actions to prevent it. But since, like, high school, because I remember writing a paper about, like, that it's bad and shit like that.
Like, really?
High school. Yeah.
It's been, like, a whole thing.
But, yeah. Now, the Metaverse shit.
Yeah, so when did that even come out?
Literally ruin life.
When did that even come out, dude? Like, it was announced, earlier? Probably in 2020, right?
It was a couple months ago, yeah.
A couple months
Less than probably 3 months ago.
The Metaverse was announced Thursday, October 28th, 2021. It could be.
It's in beta form right now, like, it's not out. Mm-hmm. But I think it would ruin life if it actually catches on. Because I think what they're going to do is, like, all right, we're going to do this business meeting in the Metaverse. You know what I mean? I don't think people are going to get on it immediately because it's stupid. Mm-hmm. I think everybody knows it's stupid.
But they're just, like, going to make it like, the place to go.
Yeah, like, people probably thought phones were stupid.
Yeah.
Like, cell phones. It's like, why the fuck have a pager?
Yeah.
Mobile phones. That's for yuppies. Mark my words, Charlie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now it's like you can't even drive without texting. You know what I mean? It's stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I think it was gonna be like, oh, we're doing this business meeting here. Probably, China's gonna make another pandemic. I'm lying, but you know what I mean. Like they're gonna do some Zoom shit like that.
Yeah, well, and I think that's definitely part of it. I don't know if like this was like a master plan or something, but the fact that like freedom has been restricted because of like the COVID and like people and then it just made us more comfortable. So it's like, oh, I don't have to commute to work. Oh, like I save money here. Oh, I don't have to put all this time in. But then you're not, like you're saying, is like even those awkward. I feel like an awkward conversation in like a workplace is 100% better than just not talking to anybody like on Zoom or like over
No, 100%.
And so and I think with the metaverse is like the allure is like, well, you can have those same conversations without even putting yourself at risk of COVID or something. And then people are just gonna like hop on that.
Yeah, it's gonna start with like business meetings, and then I'll be like, oh, my whole job's in the metaverse, and then it's going to be fun. It's gonna be appealing, like because colors are gonna be better. You're gonna be comfortable, not having to leave, no fucking boring moments. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then people are slowly gonna get hooked in it. But you know how fucking are you allowed to swear here? It's a swear.
Yeah, no, you're allowed to. It's fine.
You know how much fucking but like how bad?
Do any of these fuckers ever just come out of the wall and jizz all over the place? Anyways, go ahead.
I know, but how bad quarantine is for like how bad did you suffer with mental health during quarantine?
Honestly, like so this is a good talking point actually. I think COVID wasn't as bad for me because I already felt antisocial,
Yeah.
And so like I had already, at least in college, like isolated myself from the college scene.
Really?
Yeah, and I spent time just trying to be comfortable with myself.
Yeah.
And so I developed habits before COVID to improve my self just like alone. So that way, I could deal with it better and feel like I wasn't as big of a weirdo. But and then I feel like COVID hit, and I think the initial shock still sucked for sure. And like that, I lived with my parents for like an extended period of time, and I went like insane during that.
Yeah.
But I think after like the first summer of COVID, so it happened in March. I think during summer is like, and I think this is common with how people dealt with it. It was either you dealt with it really, really poorly, or you took it as time to like figure out how to improve yourself.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Because you're not plugged into a virtual world.
Exactly.
But if you're plugged into a virtual world, then you're going to be figuring out like, what fucking NFT should I put in my virtual bedroom? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have nothing at the end of it.
No, you have a new NFT.
Yeah, I handled quarantine badly. I didn't really do much, but I started doing insane shit. I started fucking trying to like make like
animations,
stop motion animation, shit like that. And
that's what I'm saying. That's like a new skill you picked up. And while you say it was like bullshit, I mean that's still something you could show somebody and be like, hey, look, I made this.
Yeah, but like if you're plugged into a world where everything's like quote unquote the same, and you're meeting up with people, I don't know.
Well, I don't. When you say the same, what do you mean? The same as real life?
Yeah, they're trying to mimic it. Mm-hmm. Which I think is bullshit anyways. Like, why would you copy a form that doesn't need to be on... Like, whenever comedy went over Zoom, there's absolutely no reason for that. Stand-up comedy. It's not what the form is you're in person on a stage.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't fit that form at all, then why are you still doing stand-up online? Yeah. You know what I mean? But they're doing it where it's like, oh, you walk down a grocery aisle and you pick up what bottle you want, and then Amazon sends you that bottle.
Oh yeah, I have seen that. Yeah, I saw it
just to make you like have a fake sense of like familiarness.
Yeah, as opposed to just like picking it out on a list or something like that.
But eventually, 30 years in the future, it'll be like, let's say it catches on. No one's gonna do that because it's like a hassle.
Within the metaverse, I didn't even think about that. You're right. We're lazy in life, so we make a metaverse, and then we become lazy.
Like the Wii was too much work. That shit was like just doing this was annoying. It's gonna be like minimalized. We're not gonna be doing anything physical, and then you get depressed if you're not doing physical work.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then that drives you to spend more time distracting yourself.
Yeah.
I guess. And that's, again, like with COVID, I think unfortunately, more people, like, I know that mental illnesses and, like, depression and anxiety, like, skyrocketed when it happened. But again, I think that statistic and people, like, being that much in your face of, like, oh, I've spent, like, 12 hours online today or something like that, you know, like, it makes it more obvious, so that way, if you have any bit of self-awareness at all, you know, you got to be like, damn, I just spent 8 hours doing this, you know, and it kind of makes you like, it forces you to reassess yourself, and, like...
It does, but then you're kind of stuck in it. You know what I mean? Because it is fun to be online, you know?
Yeah, I would say so, but again, it's like with the depression, it's like, there has to be, like, a breaking point, right, where it's like, you just become depressed and you just keep doing the things. You have to realize that something has to change. Or like, obviously you get sucked into the online world and it causes depression, so you go to the online world to help that. Yeah. But then after a while, you know, something has to change, right? Like,
but imagine if the whole world, like the whole of American society is designed so that you're supposed to be on the computers. You know what I mean?
Then, yeah.
Most work is online anyways now.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So now you're not even seeing any form of real life. You're completely surrounded.
Yeah.
Socializing is going to be shit after that.
People are just going to read and not reply to you all the time in real life.
Yeah.
And, like, not be able to talk at all. Yeah, but I don't think... I don't know, like I said, I would like to hope. This is where I think a lot of people... I talked with Akash when he came on my podcast about it, whereas basically, like... you have to hope that... Because without hope... There is a chance where there is like an outcome, right? Yeah. Where people see what's happening and decide to, because they're not forcing us to stay online, but the world is being built around it. Yeah. And so it's like, there has to be a point where I think people have to choose to not do it. And I would like to hope that enough people...
They won't. I make fun of people that don't have Instagram.
You're such a hypocrite.
I'm a hypocrite because it's like, what the fuck are you doing? That's how people talk now. You know what I mean? That's how I talk to all my friends.
On Instagram?
Yeah. So it's just like, what are you doing? You're not even a person. You know what I mean? That's what it's going to be like. Yeah. If everybody's on the fucking virtual reality.
Right. Yeah. So what is this hate that you have, this passion? Like, it sounds like you love it. Like everything you're saying.
Because I'm addicted to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what's your plan?
If it catches on, I'm fucking...
You're just diving into the addiction?
No, I'm not doing it. I refuse to put on a headset.
Really?
I'm straight up refusing. I won't do it.
You've never jumped into VR at all?
I done it before the Metaverse. Once I found out about the Metaverse, I was like, I'm never putting on a headset again. You know what I mean? But when Oculus came out, it was exciting. It's going to be exciting for people. Right. Yeah, but it's a bullshit. The Cube game? You play the Cube game?
No, it's
where you, like, chop up cubes. They're, like, flying at you. It's a Guitar Hero, but with swords.
Oh, no, I have not. That's part of one of the Metaverse things?
That's the big Metaverse. No, that's the big Oculus game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but anyway, I think Facebook bought Oculus, and they're, like, going to subsidize it so it's, like, cheaper for people to get those. Mm. So then everyone's going to have one. Man, it works. Yeah, we could do it. It'll catch on. Then it'll get crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then, what's his face? Elon Musk making the microchip for your brain?
Is he actually doing that?
Yeah. Neuralink? Because they get you in, because they're like, oh, this will help people who can't see or something like that. It's like supposed to fix like physical disabilities. True. But then he was talking to Rogan.
Of course.
That'll be his name. About like that eventually you can like send thoughts to other people, like full ideas.
Yeah. Have you seen Black Mirror?
Yeah.
You know how they have just like the computer on their contacts basically?
I think so.
I think it's like in their brain or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, like, it's like, nah, that'd be too much. Because it's just, like, literally, like, you think staring at a screen all day long, like, makes your brain, like, fried. I feel like having it just in front of you at all times, like, in your eyes, would be too much. But I was thinking that, and then I was walking to a comedy show the other day, and I was like, wow, if I could walk and, like, edit my podcast while I'm walking, like, through my, through my brain right now, I would be doing that. You know what I mean?
And then you're just miserable. You're not picking up on, like... I don't know. It is hippie ideology, but, fucking birds singing or, like, making some funny joke that you walk by and it's like, or a goofy-looking person. You know what I mean? Just, like, things that'll, like, make you happy just on the street. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Well, and so this is a conflict that I've been running into recently. One of the things that I have picked up, like, through COVID and, like, that I told you I was working on in college a little bit was, like, meditation and, like, appreciating the present, right? And, like, what's going on. And the other thing is, like, what I think this has to do with the amount that you value things, right? But, like, I very much value listening to music. Like, it's one of my favorite things to do, right? So, like, walking down the street do you think it's better to not have any headphones on and try to appreciate the boring, like, nothing going on, just for those maybe minuscule moments where you walk by somebody's conversation or, like, a bird?
It's probably better for creativity, for real.
To, like, listen to music? Or
to not listen to music.
To not listen to music.
To just have a bored brain that comes up with fun things to do.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're not gonna, like, how many ideas do you come up with on your when you're, like, listening to music or, like, watching TV? You don't come up with ideas.
Well,
that's why people come up with ideas in the shower. They're bored. That's the time you don't have technology.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Or when you're driving. Yeah. When I'm driving and showering is when I come up with bits. Yeah. And sometimes I'm listening to podcasts when I drive. You know what I mean? I'm, like, over fucking saturated.
Yeah, oversaturated.
That's why I hate this shit.
It's so much just a stream of content just thrown in your brain all the time.
Yeah. I think Mark Zuckerberg, I don't know, for someone doesn't let their kids. Bill Gates doesn't let their kids use the internet.
Joe Rogan doesn't, for sure.
Maybe Joe Rogan.
Well, maybe not.
But they, like, the tech people don't let their kids use it.
Yeah.
It's not good for you. It's designed to make you upset. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, Facebook algorithms are designed to get you upset. But here's also what's scary to me is, like, the Neuralink thing. Because I think eventually those would be connected. If these two technologies popularize. And then...
The Neuralink, like the brain.
Yeah, they'll be able to figure out how to just put shit in your brain.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
So, like, if somebody hacks your phone, they can hack your brain, basically.
Well, no, I think it would just eventually translate to, like, the thing in your brain will connect to your optic nerve. You can see this live or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's possible. Yeah. But I think it is.
Right.
If the Neuralink thing... Because the Neuralink thing is working. Like, that'll be, like, available in a couple years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that'll just get better and better. So, I don't know. Eventually, I think... when do you stop becoming a human? You know?
Yeah, you're right. Like, when you are not being creative or consciously coming up with ideas.
It's what freaks me out.
Is the idea that you just are becoming like a puppet.
Because your brain's a computer. Mm-hmm. If you really think about it. Like, it has, like, a limited amount of memory.
True.
And that's how they're going to get you. It's going to be like, oh, let's upgrade your memory. A terabyte of memory or whatever.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, which sounds cool. And you'd be like, I kind of need that. Even though you don't.
Yeah.
No one needs it.
Yeah, because your brain already has, like, a shit ton of memory.
Yeah, there's a shit. There's shit I want to forget. But then there'll probably be, like, stuff like that where, like, you can forget. I don't know.
Yeah.
Upgrading your brain.
I think it would be cool to be able to, like, plug your brain in somewhere and see all the contents in your brain, though, and, like, organize it. Like.
Yeah, but then imagine this. So imagine if you can upload your consciousness, because that's something that other people are talking about. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's possible. I don't believe in it. Mm-hmm. I don't think that if you're uploaded into a computer, I don't think that would be, like, you're a real person.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah.
They do that in Black Mirror, but it would... I wasn't necessarily talking about, like, uploading my consciousness.
Yeah.
But the idea of, like, being able to display your brain and, like, see the contents of it and be able to organize it.
Yeah, but if you could do that, then you could upload your... quote-unquote upload your consciousness.
True, you're right.
So then imagine that. Like, you upload your brain to a computer, right? Because your brain is a computer. You upload it to a computer. And that thing... Like, let's say your mom... Is your mom alive?
Yeah.
Let's say she does that, right?
Yeah.
But then she's dead, but she's in the computer. And she's like, yeah, I'm alive, I'm chilling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're like, maybe. Oh. And it still talks to you? Like, imagine that. That's how scary this shit is. Yeah. That's why I get, like, terrified of this stuff. Because that's where it's going to go. Eventually.
But I mean, I don't know, though. I think there's a lot of morality that has to be involved in that. Like, they can't just make a decision. Like, that would be a huge phenomena for somebody to decide, hey, we're uploading a consciousness. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
if you were on your deathbed, when did you do it?
No. I don't know. I've never been on my deathbed before. I would like to hope that I wouldn't, you know?
Yeah, but nobody wants to die.
I want to die every day. What are you talking about? And
then if everybody that's in, quote-unquote, in a computer... I know this is far-fetched, but it's not.
But it's not.
It's really not. You know what I mean? Like, if it progresses to where they want it, that would be an option. And then it's just like, people in the computer are going to be like, yeah, I'm alive, and then they're not. Mm-hmm. Or something. And then imagine this one.
But what would be the point? Why would they want to do that? Whoever's controlling us, what would be the point? Is that just, like, the natural progression and people would do that? Or do you think that's, like, a plan? Like,
I don't even think that's, like, a controller thing. Like, that people...
You just think it's, like, a natural progression and this is how it's going to be.
Yeah, people would want to do that.
I could see that.
Walt Disney's Frozen.
Anyways, what were you about to say there?
But, imagine this one, too. If you can get the computer in your brain, like a microchip, and they can like give you experience, like stimuli and experiences through that that aren't real. Mm-hmm. I think I forget who's talking about this, but there's like some people that are trying to make it so that you can like serve full life sentences, not in a full life, in like a smaller amount of time.
Yeah.
But in your head, it feels like a full life sentence.
Right. That sounds like this is all Black Mirror. Have you seen Black Mirror?
Yeah, I love Black Mirror.
Okay, so this
but
is...
imagine that shit, dude.
That would...
Imagine being like stuck in a computer. Stuck, you're fake. Like imagine you kill 5 people. You know what I mean?
But then at that point, are you like, your sentence is served and then you have more time to actually live your life?
Yeah, but that would be like, that's traumatizing. That's like inhumane. You know what I mean? I think it'll just, like, how far away do you go until you're not a person?
And then that's what I'm saying. I mean, people go through traumatic shit all the time, though, and come back from it sometimes. So it's like, would you rather actually live a life sentence and then die in prison? Or would you rather live a life sentence in your brain and then have, 30 years to, like, appreciate life after a life sentence?
Yeah. Nah, but, I mean, I'm just saying, like, the morality... I guess we did get off the rails on this one. Mm-hmm. But the morality of, like, giving someone 700 years in prison...
Yeah, that'd be a lot.
You know what I mean?
That'd be a lot.
And there's people that have gotten, like, 36 life sentences.
You're right.
You know what I mean? So then people would be like, yeah, fuck that guy. He deserves 700 years in prison.
Well, and so, I mean, that's, again, I think you're saying this is, like, as it's going to happen. But, I mean, think about it right now, like, the death penalty is still a hotly debated topic. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, but life in prison's not.
Yeah, it's true. But, I mean, the whole prison system's fucked up anyways. But,
And we have no sympathy for people in prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They are very blatantly getting raped in prison. They were like, yeah,
it's just part of the thing.
They did a crime. You know what I mean? We have no sympathy for criminals whatsoever.
Like actual criminals.
Yeah.
You're right.
Even though they're human still.
Damn, dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's just going to slowly... I don't know. That's why I'm like so anti-technology. Because it's just eventually going to be just horror.
Horror?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just...
We have a terrible nature. Who was the guy talking about tarring and feathering the other day? Some comic was talking about it.
What was it?
Tarring and feathering people.
Oh.
That was real. That's insane.
Yeah,
That's
you're right.
scary.
Well, but so think about that. That was real, right?
Yeah.
So there's this theory basically that, as we progress, right, things are getting faster and faster, progressing more quickly and quickly. Like think about how long it took the Earth to create life. It was like quadrillions of years, right? Uh-huh. And then after that, Earth, then after that, from like a single cell organism to actually learn to become like a multi-cell organism took like billions of years, and then from there to create humans, it was like millions and millions of years, and then humans to actually develop tools, thousands of years, and then it's just quicker and quicker and quicker, right? And so what the point of that, like, I mean, that's a concept that you can grasp on its own, but the point being that we as humans are probably going to evolve quicker and quicker, right? So there's going to be a point where tarring and feathering, you used to be able to do that and it was like accepted, right?
Yeah.
But as we progressed, our values progressed as a society and be like, yeah, that's fucked up. You can't be doing that, right?
Yeah, but has it though?
But we don't do it anymore. Have you?
Yeah, but we publicly humiliate people.
But I feel like you don't publicly... I think that's only humiliating them.
Yeah.
But also killing them, right?
Yeah, that is.
So we took out the murder.
Yeah, took out the murder. So is it better?
Would you rather have murder and humiliation or just humiliation?
I know. But I'm
and
just
then say, and again, I was talking about this with the caution. It's like, moving forward is like, wouldn't, the hope be, especially if we're progressing quicker and quicker, we as a society, at least within the groups, in my experience, and I think what the general population could all agree, that racism at this point has become a thing of the past. Like it's, and not necessarily a thing of the past, but the idea of racism is looked poorly upon now. Uh-huh. Whereas, say you ask somebody in 1950s, and it'd be like, yeah, no, fucking racism all the way, dude, like 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, the hope is that as we continue to progress, and hopefully that it gets quicker and quicker to the point where we value actual good values over these poor values. Those poor values drop off. And then the good values become the old values, and the newer values that we haven't even thought about yet, or create a new society, create a new mindset, create a new culture that is more, I guess, what you would consider to be good than bad.
But there's always going to be like insider outsiders with every culture.
That's true. Yeah.
Because it used to be like,
Counterculture.
black people are the outsiders, right?
Right.
And now it's like racist are the outsiders, which is good.
Which is good. Yeah.
However, it's going to be, you know what I mean? Then let's say everyone's at a computer, no one has a race anymore. Right? There's going to be some form of outsider that gets like outcasted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
People that don't fuck with the metaverse.
Yeah.
We're going to become the outsiders.
They're gone. They're literally outside of like the thing.
The grid. Damn, I don't like that.
You know what I'm saying?
That's scary. I don't like that. I don't want to be...
I'm never going to do that shit, dude. My job, I literally would rather move to like just some dumb country somewhere. You know what I mean?
The Netherlands. Let's go to the Netherlands.
Yeah, they're probably going to be on the computer.
No, they got like
Some
meadows and shit over there.
I'm going to go to some poor ass country.
Where they don't have
some
computers.
village where they don't accept me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but think about this then. So if people are spending all their time and energy like not actually working,
Yeah.
they won't upkeep their house. They won't upkeep the society, the civilization.
Yeah.
So then that starts to diminish. Buildings aren't being taken care of, start getting cracks, old, dusty roads are just falling to shit. Things just fall apart.
Yeah.
Whereas the people that are the poorer countries or whatever, that are still maybe not thriving because they don't have all the capital, but they are living their lives as they were. And, you know, maybe they start to figure out a way to thrive with while the others are falling apart. And they see what's going on. Maybe they have a better projection of how they want to take society.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I'm saying is like the metaverse shit within our scope of experience in the world seems very real, very scary.
Yeah.
But the idea of the metaverse, if you gave that to a third world country, they'd be like, what? That's fucking, what are you talking about?
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they're going to be able to watch it play out for us before it plays out for them.
Yeah, but I think it's going to play out badly for us.
Exactly, and so they get to see that it plays out badly for us, and they make a different decision.
Yeah, there's hope in the world. There's a lot of cabins and shit, and yada yada. But, you know, I don't know, because then I'm also thinking about like, do you have any friends in high school that like?
No, I don't have any friends from high school.
Yeah, that's from high school. That you just met just because you sat next to them.
You know what I mean? Yeah, sometimes.
And then like otherwise you'd have nothing in common.
Yeah.
And then you become friends.
Yeah.
That's human nature.
Yeah.
And then, but like metaverse shit. Everybody's algorithm is so specific that you're not going to be anyone that's like really different than you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's going to be
like everybody already is in like their own sphere.
That's true.
Like your TikTok feed, you can't even talk about TikTok with people, even though everybody's on it because yours is so specific.
I don't like that. You're right. Yeah.
But back in the day when there was like 3 channels on TV, it's like, oh, did you see Abbott and Costello? You know what I mean?
And that was like going back to the Vine thing. Is like everybody was seeing the same Vines that I was seeing because there was like 5 Vines.
True,
you know?
that's better.
Yeah, and now it's like everybody has their own specific feed.
Yeah, so everybody's happier with their feed, quote unquote. But you can't talk about it with people, and I think that's the point of like.
Well, unless you find somebody within that specific sphere, which is really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's. And this is almost what's been happening with the United States, like, talking about, I don't like to get into politics too much, but, like, you know, red and blue states have just become more redder and bluer and less diverse because what happens is, like, people from, you know, a blue state that feel like they're red, whereas, like, why don't we just move there? That's where people are, like, I would agree with more. And then, in a way it is, but I think it also promotes a certain sense of. This is a conversation that I've had a lot with a buddy. It's basically nationalism versus individualism. Yeah. And I think the best way to do it is obviously having a balance of both. I think balance is always key in everything. Yeah. But I think there's values to having both of that too. So if you're able to find like a niche, like I said, if you have a community that you identify with online, and then say you met somebody that's also in that community that you didn't know was in that community, that's like, oh, this is my new best friend. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And then that becomes like a sense of community right there.
Yeah, it's cults. It's 2 cults. You know what I mean? That's insiders, outsiders. Everybody has their little micro insider group. You know what I mean? Well,
and so what becomes when it becomes toxic is when the individualism, like I said, you need to have a balance. So when you take these ideas without actually questioning them, or without actually having your own opinions and ideas about them as well.
I don't know. I think online culture has broken down like American culture. You know what I mean?
I think American culture has just become online culture.
Yeah, I know, and it's not. I mean, I don't know. I never lived in the past, but. Things did just seem better. Like, everybody listened to the same shit.
It was a simpler time. You hear that all the time where people's like, it was a simpler time back then.
Yeah, I think if you have less... I think people with less choices are happier. You know?
I don't know if that's true.
I think it is.
Well, then, in this case, if you're moving everybody onto the metaverse, you're saying that they're all happier because they don't have a choice.
Yeah, but they're gonna have millions of choices.
Within the metaverse?
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, I think there's a balance. I think you want to have a balance of freedom and control. It's like, I mean, that's the big government debate is how much control should government, the federal government have on your freedom, basically, and how much should they control everything. I think that's a huge debate.
That is also another thing with it is like Facebook's gonna own it.
Own the world?
Own the metaverse.
The metaverse. Oh, true. So they're like the federal government in the metaverse.
That.
Ew, I don't like that. Zuckerberg's our president, dude.
Yeah. No, literally. And like think about like Facebook censoring certain people.
Oh man.
So then like if that's your whole world,
they need to come up with a constitution for the metaverse. Dude.
Yeah, but you can't because it's a company. You know what I mean? And people don't give a fuck about the Constitution anyways. Even in America. So when they go to the computer, it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody really gives a fuck about freedom.
I don't think that's true. I think that's a very generalist, you're generalizing a lot with that. Because I know a lot of people that care a lot about freedom. But the means of getting that freedom include falling prey to losing freedoms, which is weird. Like there's an idea of freedom. That's the real thing is I think the idea of freedom is changing. Yeah. And like people are losing, I don't know. It's weird. You know what I mean? Like it's a very weird thing.
Yeah. Are you really free online? I tried to call someone a bitch the other day and my comment got taken away. Like
he's a bitch.
It's my friend. It's like I just want to call him a bitch. It's not in a bad way.
That's actually messed up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's stupid. So it's like censoring. I don't know. And then there's people that disagree with, like, anyone that disagrees with whatever is going on, if the company is what's controlling what gets fed to you, that wouldn't get fed to anybody.
Yeah, I guess and that's the thing about censorship now. It's not being talked about enough, I don't think, is censorship. But yeah, I don't know. I think you're being very pessimistic about it because think about this. The internet is allowing us to have this conversation right now and have my 8 followers listen to us talk about these ideas.
Yeah, they shouldn't be listening to this. This is a terrible waste of their time.
Probably, but hopefully
who am I?
Yeah, who are you? But
no, but I'm just like, I mean,
hopefully it challenges that, like, their brain to think their own thoughts about their own opinions about the metaverse and their own opinions about how technology is influencing their life. Yeah, I think that's the hope. I think that is at least what I want to accomplish with the podcast is like, give people a taste of a lot of like the characters that I have. I just have multitudes of different people like from different backgrounds on here. Yeah. And it gives people a taste of that, like, oh, this is somebody that I would never meet or talk to, Yeah. And I'm listening to this person go on for, a half hour, 45 minutes about something that they find passionate,
But like, okay, with like stand up, if you're live in a show watching it, you would most likely laugh at it. You know what I mean? Whereas if you're by yourself at home, you're not going to laugh at it. Just because there's something about being with other people.
That's fair.
Sharing an experience. Like you raved last night. Would you have gone crazy if you were by yourself? No. But then everybody's going nuts. So it's a fun moment everybody shares. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the shit that's like cool about life.
Yeah. I agree. Well, connection, for sure. Connection with other people.
And I think that's just the opposite of like the trend of technology. I don't think it brings people closer together. Even though I talk to people more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. I agree. I don't have enough like argument to dispute it. But I think again it's very pessimistic because I think it also does bring people together. Like I know people that have met like through an online group and then they meet up in real life and imagine that experience. It's almost like a pen pal, right? Yeah. Like some people have a pen pal that they talk to they've never met with for forever and then they have an experience with them. They're like, yo, like imagine like somebody you've never met but you've talked to your whole life and then when you're like 10 years down the line, you have this 10-year deep relationship and you meet up with them in like Paris or wherever they live. Yeah. And then it's like the whole... Yeah.
But imagine, but also nobody saves their text conversations, but people save letters that they got.
I save my text conversations.
I don't delete them, but it's creepy to not delete them.
You think so?
Yeah. It also takes up so much space. I'm going to have to delete them eventually. But yeah, I'm like a hoarder with like shit like that. But yeah, if I had letters, I save all my letters I get. Like birthday cards and shit like that. That's true. Because that shit's fun to have. Yeah. But then you don't do that online. Yeah, I think it feels different.
Yeah, and that book I'm reading, Amusing Ourselves to Death, is kind of like diving into the topic a little bit about how it's becoming less physical and more metaphysical, which is fucking stupid. But I think there is something to be said for that. That it's not something we could hold. You know, the idea of, like you're saying, like keeping your text versus keeping a letter is like, those are two completely different ideas. But I also, again, I like to have hope moving forward with everything.
Yeah, but I don't. I'd like to.
Then why do you even continue on with life? Why don't you just kill yourself?
I know. Think about it.
How would you kill yourself if you're going to?
Huh?
How would you kill yourself?
I'd shoot myself. So easy. That's the easiest question. Everybody's like, how would you do it? What? Are you kidding me? Any other way is terrible. Is the conversation, what's the reason not to kill yourself now?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason not to, technically.
Just kill yourself!
You know what I mean? But here's where I get hippy-dippy.
Mm-hmm.
Is because I'm like, I feel like there's some purpose to life. So there's no reason to kill myself because something's going to happen. Like, I have some purpose.
See, that's the hope, dude.
Yeah.
And I think you should apply that more to, I mean, your general, so as opposed to, like, viewing society as a whole going to shit,
Yeah.
view the sphere of your life. And
But I think my purpose is my effect that I don't know about on other people.
Right. Yeah, dude, like, I met you and you, like, I don't know, I like you, dude.
There you go.
You give me a reason.
And I had, you know what I mean? I think my purpose is to do stand-up, but it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, not directly, at least.
Yeah, everything that you think is your purpose is not your real purpose, is what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like technology and shit minimizes your interaction with other people.
Which minimizes the potential of your purpose actually coming to light.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah. And I think, and again, I think that's something that, like, we just need to, individuals to realize about themselves is there is no purpose, but the purpose is the doing, you know, just doing. The purpose comes as you go along.
Yeah. I think there's some form of purpose. That's what I'm saying.
Like, you haven't killed yourself yet, obviously. So
Yeah, because I believe in, like, God and shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But other people don't.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in God, there's no reason not to kill yourself.
I don't know if that's true.
I think it's true. Don't you think so?
No, because, I mean, there's different forms of God that you could believe in that's not necessarily the being, the spirit or whatever. I think you can find purpose in life through what some would consider, like, the metaphor of God as opposed to, like, a physical God, you know? So, like, people, I don't know. I know that's a whole different conversation.
What do you mean physical God?
This is a whole, like, what do you consider to be God? This is we're just going to we're getting into it. I don't give a shit.
Here's where I lose it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's, like, that dude.
Do you think there's, like, a heaven?
I don't know.
Okay.
Here's what
Like, what is keeping you from killing yourself?
I don't know. So God, the definition of God, as we know, is, like, infinite power, infinite knowledge. Yeah. So that would be, like, the physical universe.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So we probably had the same.
Which is, like, infinite. I don't know. I guess it is just faith and shit like that. But, like, there's physical laws of the world, the universe and shit, that are, like, unbreakable. And then there's, like, little coincidences and shit that happen that, like, makes me think there's, like, some spiritual law. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that.
You know?
Serendipity, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's, like, so much serendipity in life that's, like, well, this is nuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then also just, like,
And so you think that?
existing is nuts.
I agree.
So it's like, why are we even here? I know that I am here. Because I think therefore I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, there has to be something. You know what I mean? I don't know.
So you're saying
Like, the
because
odds of
we're
everything
here,
just being
like it is
random
like,
chance.
Yeah. So you're saying, like, the reason, basically, because we're here and because things exist the way they are, it keeps you from killing yourself, or it means you might as well live out to see what it is, basically.
Yeah, like, we can figure out, like, that's what I'm saying about, like, the infinite, like, the concept of infinity is, like, we can, like, look at a small portion of it and be like, this doesn't make any sense. But when you expand everything out, it's like, oh, this makes sense. But there's no way we can grasp, like, what the whole world's doing, what the whole, like, universe is doing. But you don't know what your purpose is all I'm saying. I don't know. Why am I not killing myself?
No, that's what I get. You don't know what your purpose is, so you might as well at least try and find out, because there's some sort of faith involved, because we're here.
Yeah.
Right. So
I think my purpose is very small. I think like, everybody on Earth is like a net. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
So it's like all the strings are needed, but none of the strings are, like,
Right.
necessary.
And that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that as a whole has a purpose.
Yeah, but I don't have, like, a purpose.
Yeah, and again, away from your specific beliefs,
Yeah.
but applying beliefs in general to that net of the organism that we create of life, what is the purpose of, like, why would we have that net if there wasn't a purpose to it? Why would we have these connections of this whole purpose? Like, maybe you specifically only play a small role in that, but that's what I'm saying is, like, I personally choose to have faith, and again, maybe this makes me not an atheist, but I choose to have faith that as a whole, the purpose wouldn't be just to become puppets, like, even if, like, society, like 99% of people turn into puppets on the metaverse or whatever, there's still going to be that 1%, and that 1% could then in turn change everything, and it could turn back, the pendulum could swing the other way. And so it's like a whole story, and it's just an ongoing story, and it's growth. And, maybe there will be an end to the universe. Who knows? But I think in general, for me, it's not productive to be pessimistic about all that stuff, I guess. It's not conducive.
Yeah, but it's not productive to be naive to it.
I agree. I agree.
And I'm personally staying away from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
But I feel like that's the reason I hate it so much, because I feel like that would literally ruin my life.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. Yeah, but for other people whose life it wouldn't ruin, feel free to do it.
Yeah, no, it'll ruin everybody's life that does it, I think.
All right.
That's what I'm saying, it's ruining life. The whole beauty of life is, like, things that you don't know are going to happen.
Mm-hmm. And so if you keep it in a predicted world, then...
Yeah, it's in a predicted world.
Yeah, there's this, like, Alan Watts thing that he talks about where he's like, if you had the potential to live through a dream and experience whatever you wanted to experience, and every night you could dream about whatever you wanted to do, and so every night you came up with something, it's like, oh, I could do this, and you just start doing whatever you want all the time, then at some point you would just be like, well, now I want something that I don't know is going to happen.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so then it would just be regular life, and so it's like, just experience this life, because that's how it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's a good, memento, I think that's a good message.
Yeah.
And we should probably end on that before we divulge any deeper into fucking your brain.
I get too deep, bro. I feel like literally people do not get what I'm saying.
No, I mean, I understand a lot of it, but I don't think even you know what you're saying sometimes.
I know, because you can't.
You can't articulate
can't figure out everything. Yeah, you can't articulate it.
Yeah. But we try.
Yeah.
And that's the best we can do.
Yeah, but once you have the Neuralink, you can just send it over, and then you get it, and you'd be like, oh, that's dumb.
All right, Ben. I think that's a good spot. Thanks for recording with me.
How long was it?
He said it! Articulate with Steve McJones and Ben Staab, and that's why we call it that. Thanks for coming out, Ben, and recording with me, even though I went insane trying to edit this. I appreciate your hot takes and how you explain things. Appreciate you coming out and recording with me. Ben Staab, he's a comic in Philly. Seek him out because he is up and coming, hilarious. And yeah, have a great week. We're all gonna fucking be robots and puppets within the metaverse. So look forward to that and enjoy what time you have left. Thanks for listening. I love you. Amen. Okay, bye.
Oh, that's why they call it that.